I know I've asked this question before, but I will ask it again. Guys, what is the price of peace? What is the price of peace? And I am here to tell you, I don't exactly know what the price of peace is, but it is at least worth what I've just spent on this truck. So I've bought another truck to add to my fleet, and you have to hear me out on this. I've been wanting to share this with you. I do not like spending money at all. I could be called cheap. I prefer the term frugal, which I am. I am definitely a frugal person. But with Ohio Wood Burner, guys, I have been bootstrapping this business. I have been putting the money back that I make back into the business. That's how I was able to buy a processor, trade it in, buy another one, some of my other equipment that I have, and then definitely the trucks. So I have been not losing sleep, but I've been worrying about my truck. And here's the reason why. Guys, my sales continue to increase. And this year I am at, right now, before even the fall and winter selling season, I am above 20% increase in sales from the previous year. So the business is growing, the business is thriving, and I have one truck. And I don't know, the truck's doing okay, but you know, it makes a little funny noise every now and then. Bottom line though, guys, is this is a legitimate business. I am operating, I am growing it. This business is thriving. And now I'm going into a fall winter selling season where my sales, you know, are going up. I have deliveries every day. And it just dawned on me, if my truck were to blow up, or if I were to crash it and drive it into a ditch, we have a term in Ohio for what I would be, but since this is a G-rated YouTube channel, we'll just leave it at that. I started looking around, but gee whiz, has anyone priced a truck lately? Being able to afford a truck, gosh. So this is a work truck, and my old truck, which I still have, this is not replacing it, this is augmenting it. My old truck, it's a stripped down version. It came standard with a steering wheel and a gear shift, and that's really all I need. I wanted an 8-foot bed, a regular cab. It's a work truck. I wanted two-wheel drive. Two-wheel drives are cheaper. They get better fuel mileage, and I don't deliver wood in bad weather anyways, so I just will move around my schedule. But I was worried. What is the price of peace? And knowing that if my truck were to go south on me, I have my 4-wheel drive, but it's not branded, it's not professional. It doesn't have the 8-foot bed. It would really slow me down some, but you know, it's also high mileage. So I started looking around, and believe it or not, there are these work trucks that are out there that are for sale. And I'm here to tell you, this truck is beautiful. It only has one drawback. And you probably have already figured out how I was able to afford a truck like this. And that drawback is it's got high mileage. This is a 200,000 mile truck, which you may not know this about me, but I got a pretty robust automotive background. I've been a motorhead my whole life. They used to be more of a hobby than what they are now. You know, marriage and kids and stuff will change you with that. But I'm in the vehicles. I work on them myself, and I am knowledgeable enough to go into a purchase like this with my eyes wide open, because not all cars and trucks are the same, and you could have a very nice low mileage vehicle, but it's just run to pieces, or it was poorly maintained and it's just not going to be a good vehicle for you. Likewise, you could have a high mileage vehicle, but maybe all the mileage was highway miles, so it didn't get the wear and tear of driving through towns or in rough terrain. And I think that's what we see with this truck here. This truck is in very, very good condition. I'll give you a once-over of it. Now, it's got high mileage, but I did apply what I know of vehicles. And if you are into your Ford trucks, you know probably by now what to look for to make sure that you're getting into a truck that will get you some miles out of it. And, you know, 200,000 miles, I swear I would have never, ever purchased a vehicle with that many miles. But that's what business does to you. This is a business. This is how I have to run things. And for me to be able to afford this very truck that only had 100,000 miles on it, which is still a lot of miles, couldn't afford it. it'd be over $20,000 for a truck like that. So I went to the Ford website and I started pricing a work truck. A base F-150, half-ton, two-wheel drive, 8-foot bed, roll-up windows with a base 6-cylinder engine. Guys, they're over $40,000. How can anyone afford a brand new truck these days is beyond me. So I found this truck, and I don't know if it could go south on me tomorrow, but I really spent a lot of time on this decision. I do not like spending money, but here it is. And let me just show it to you. What I noticed immediately about this truck when I first started looking at it, it has brand new tires. And these are Load Range E Coopers. So guys, that's $1,000 worth of tires on this truck right now. So it comes with this work rack, and this is going to come off. But this is what I have learned. These are the expensive ones. These are very highly sought after. And it's got all of the toolboxes. An aluminum ladder rack. It's got the winches for the straps to tie your ladders down. And if anyone is in the market for a work rack like that, send me an email because I'm ready to sell it. All right. This is this is a very nice truck, but again, high mileage. But I'm just saying, look how nice and clean it is. And compared to my truck, you know, it's all rusted out with the F-150 rust, the rockers, and you know, the fender wells. This truck, it's in nice shape. On top of that, the interior is nice. There's no holes in the upholstery. This truck was well cared for. Now, can I assume that the amount of care that whoever owned this truck before me showed in the body, did that translate into the engine? From my experience with these Fords, there is a few things that you want to pay attention to, like when you first start them up cold, is there any slapping or grinding noise from the front of the engine, which is your timing chains? This did not have it. The transmission doesn't feel brand new, but it shifts nice. It's a little sloppy going into overdrive, but I'm good with that. And my goal, though, is to get this truck branded. You know what? I think I'm going to wait off on that for branding. I think I'll put the headache rack on and my unloader. But as for the lettering and stuff, I'm going to wait because that's a little pricey. And just make sure that this thing runs and it's not going to cause me any grief. And once I'm comfortable with that, I think I'll go ahead and get it lettered. So lettering is an interesting thing. I think that, because my other truck is lettered and it's on the road all the time, I think I've only received one phone call off of my truck, you know, where they got my number off the truck going up and down the road. I don't think there's a return on investment for what you put on your truck, but it separates you from your competition. And if you have learned anything off of me about delivering firewood, is that it is just not about the wood. It's about your delivery model. It's about your level of service and separating yourself from your competition. Having a nice truck that won't leak oil on the customer's driveway. Yeah, doesn't leak oil on the customer's driveway. Presentable, employees in uniforms, professional invoicing, a website, all of the things that you can do to separate yourself from the competition. And there's nothing wrong with delivering firewood in your own personal truck, but when you are taking a full-time approach to this career, to this profession, it pays to be professional, and having a professional looking truck is one of those things to it. I don't think you can just single out one thing as the most important, because everything you do is important. But you know, having a lettered truck, I probably, once I'm comfortable with this truck, we'll get it lettered. But here you go. I will show you the engine. So the other thing this truck has going for it is that it is a 5-liter. And for you Ford guys and gals, the 5-liter has got an excellent reputation. And it has the 6R80 transmission, which is the 6-speed. Again, if this is a high mileage vehicle, you would want to have the preferred powertrain in it, and this one certainly has it. And if you Ford guys know, I went ahead and devarnished the throttle body. If you if you own a Ford truck, you probably already know to do this, but if you have not ever done it, you want to do this because, well, you'll just want to do it. Trust me. It's a simple 5-minute task, but it pays off hugely on performance and fuel mileage. I think, though, that this truck was hit at one time. There looks like there was some body work done on the fender and some of the plastic pieces in the front here, but I'm not concerned with that because when you drive it down the road, it goes straight. It doesn't pull. You know, the steering wheel's not shaking or anything. I really am excited about this truck. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. The first thing I need to get going, though, is I got to get this rack off of it. Serious. If you know anyone that wants to buy this, email me. We'll deal here. Okay, I need this out of my life. But that's a nice rack. It's got to come off. And then I already bought the unloader from Harbor Freight, the best $40 I've ever spent money on. I don't need tires. I still want to do a more thorough safety inspection. I want to take the wheels off. I want to check the brakes, make sure, you know, the front end parts are tight on this, and be comfortable with that. It came with a full tank of gas, which is how I double the value of my other truck, as I fill up the fuel tank on it. When I said I do not like spending money, I am serious. Because, I mean, what the heck, it's another truck. You know, what are my choices here? Buying a new truck is not an option. It's just way too expensive. Trading in my old truck for, you know, a better truck. But, you know, when you look at the prices, you're right around 100,000 miles for anything that you can afford. So that I just didn't think that that would be an option. Because as they say, when you buy a used car or if you buy a used truck, you're probably buying someone else's headache. There's just so many unknowns out there. And that's why people usually trade a car in, you know, because they've just hit that milestone with it where it's going to be parts instead of payment. And so they sell it and they get something else. And then you're stuck bringing it back up to operating condition. So I understand all that. And that's why it just feels weird buying a truck with this many miles on it. But in the reality of the world that we are, my gosh, how expensive these trucks are, huh? But you know what? It goes both ways. You know, we had a little red car. It was a nice car. And we drove it for 2 years. We put, I think, 25,000 miles on it. And then we sold it for more than what we paid for it. You know, so it goes both ways. You know, if prices are way up, well, I guess that means that the asset that you own has increased in value too. Well, that's the case here. So this was all I could afford as part of the organizational plan. So now I have 2 junk pickup trucks. They're not junk, but you know what I mean. I got 2 lower end high mileage trucks. This one here obviously looks a heck of a lot better. You know, this truck's loaded too, where my other truck is not. So, but that's not important to me. It does. The only thing that I was interested in, steering wheel, gear shift, brake pedal, and air conditioning. And the heater. Okay, here in another month, we'll be needing that. But, you know, I checked to make sure all that stuff works, and it does. But here we are, spending money. I do not like spending money. So I've already spent $25 on windshield wipers and need a new windshield wipers. So this is just another truck. It's just more brakes to repair, more fuel to put in the fuel tank, more tires to replace, more oil filters, more oil changes, just more money to spend. But you know, here I am, a sole proprietor, and it does allow me to let 2 trucks share the burden. But it also, I think, too, puts me in a position if I do want to bring on a second person to help me with deliveries. I mean, talk about efficiency. I can double my sales per day with 2 separate trucks. And I do see some versatility with a second truck with getting them loaded up. I could get 2 of them loaded up at the same time. And then, you know, that kind of helps me as the week goes on. Because for instance, today I had a delivery this morning. I just got my other truck loaded, and then I brought this one down here to do this video because that truck's going out tonight. And then I'll get it loaded again tonight for tomorrow morning's delivery. So this does give me some more versatility. I wish for the day when a poof machine, or if my magic wand would work and I could Expelliarmus me a pickup truck that will run forever, that will never need fuel put in it. But that's just not going to happen. And until that day comes, though, we're going to look for a high mileage truck like this, 200,000 miles on it. Oh boy, that's a lot. That is what I wanted to share with you guys. What is the price of peace, huh? Well, I guess it is as much as this truck cost, because, you know, I forked the money down. It's done with, it's over with, and I feel good. I don't have that buyer's remorse, and I just hope this thing can run, at least get me through this winter. Maybe I'll call that a victory. I think, though, that this truck is in such nice shape that if the engine and transmission were to go south, this might be the truck where I would buy a replacement, remanufactured engine and put in it. But let's hope that we don't get to that part. If this truck starts making funny noises, I'll just turn up the radio on this. Okay, guys, I just wanted to share that with you and share this purchase. This is scary doing this. This is not easy for me, but I wanted to share my thought process, because I think if you're a sole proprietor, when you are a smaller operation, sometimes decisions that you make for your business don't make extreme financial sense, but they're important nonetheless. And this puts me in a much better position for risk management, but also, you know, you grow in the company even more. There's only so much a sole proprietor can do. Adding a second truck gives me more flexibility, more opportunity for growth. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and everyone have a, just admiring that truck. Boy, is that a good looking truck. Everyone have a great day.